Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Skirball Center. First of all, I'd like to ask you guys to give yourselves a round of applause for getting up this early to, fill your brains and minds with the knowledge and the events that we have in store for you today.
We're here to have a good time. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to see all of you because, oh my God, that means there's so many people that want to learn and like drench themselves in the knowledge of the music business. This is the craziest business that you could think about getting into. But we don't think about the business aspect of this industry.
Please give a warm welcome, an enthusiastic SESAC Bootcamp welcome to Mr. Rico Love.
The best thing about SESAC to me, and I don't want to make this a whole SESAC tribute, my whole thing here, but I just want to say the best thing about SESAC is that they believe in talent. They believe in your potential, and they believe in what they think your ability is, and that's what they get behind. A lot of different, organizations get behind people after they already had a numerous amount of success, but these type of opportunities should show you just how dedicated SESAC is. Knowledge is very important in the music business or in any business because the more we know, the more we can empower ourselves. Just because you're a songwriter doesn't mean you should know all of the details of your song deals, of artist deals, of every legal aspect that you can teach yourself and observe. And what it's about asking questions. It's about sitting under people and really genuinely asking questions, and over the years, you'll pick up and you'll start understanding certain politics in the music business so that you can later protect yourself. It's some things I won't go for. So I started off sitting under Usher, so experiencing him through the confession days and watching all that, I asked questions. Everybody I met, I wasn't just backstage saying, oh, hey, I'm Usher's artist. I was like, hey, I'm Rico, what's your name? Let me get your number, let's talk, let's communicate, let's build, We have to protect this business. We have to protect music, we have to respect the magic, and we have to protect that magic. Again, studying the music, being consistent, and being knowledgeable. Another thing is the confidence. It's very important to believe in your work and to believe in your craft. It's very important to understand your greatness. There's nothing arrogant about knowing that you're good at what you do. So that confidence is very important. Also, humility. Humility is very, very important. It gets you a long way in this world. This doesn't mean that you're gonna have time to speak to everybody. This doesn't mean that you're gonna, it just doesn't. It doesn't mean that when you're handling business, you're not gonna raise your voice. It doesn't mean that you're not gonna be stern and firm about your business. It's not, I'm sure you guys are gonna be yelling at your managers and your lawyers and, about certain things that you want, because that's just the nature of the business and that's just how it goes, and it's about being a businessman or woman. But at the end of the day, you have to really be humble. You have to be humble enough to respect all people, to be kind to people, to respect the artists. I'm always on time for my sessions, no matter what. I'm always on time for my recording sessions. And courage. Now, I spoke on confidence before, and confidence is believing in yourself and knowing who you are. But courage is taking those chances and taking those risks and saying those things that haven't been said before in your music. The courage enough to write something that you feel like, I don't know if somebody would say this. All right, cool. Did it sound good? Did it feel good to you? Say it. The last thing is love. Now, when we approach something from the standpoint of love, it's very genuine. It's very pure. The thing that will get me to never listen to your music or never want to work with you if you talking about, I'm trying to get this money. That's the thing you hear so much is people like, man, I'm just trying to get this money. And I'm like, I don't ever want to work with you. Because I always said to myself, I want to be the greatest more than I want to be the richest. Because greatness can get you wealth. So you guys pay attention to those keys, really study. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I want to thank SESAC for having me. I want to thank you all for having me. But I just really hope that you guys got a lot out of this. And just continue to grow, continue to study, and continue to appreciate the music, because we're blessed. Like, this really is God-given for us to be able to do this and to create this. And the courage that you guys are taking and the time you're taking to be here lets me know, like, there's a bunch of serious people who respect the craft in here. And I really take my hat off to you guys and salute you guys. So thank you for having me. I'm Rico. Turn the lights on.
No, we spend a lot of time really researching music, you know, especially for me, and I'm sure PJ and you, look at blogs, look to see what people are into, kind of follow the different trends and traits, you know, maybe listen to different radio stations across the country, and pretty much rely on our friends as well. I'm always looking on Facebook. You know, anytime a friend posts a band or a song that looks somewhat interesting, I'll click on it and I'll listen to it and see what it is.
You know, we are considered these creative people. We're constantly challenged by our directors and our producers and, you know, studio and network people, and kind of put on the spot, like, you know, okay, you know, what do you think about this song, or what was going on in 1975, or who wrote this? And, you know, I think all of that is important. To me, what makes a great music supervisor is actually having a skill set that encompasses the entire craft. We are masters of two very distinct fields. One is music and the other is production work. So being a really creative person and knowing a lot about music is important, but there's a lot of people that know a lot about music. You know, my plumber knows a lot about music. It doesn't make him a good music supervisor. You know, and just because you have wonderful creative ideas, it doesn't mean that you're going to have the ability to execute them. And that's the key.
One thing that we're really also good at is we're good problem solvers. When we have a song that may go for a final and we think it's already there, we always have in the back of our head 5 other options that we could pull from it instantaneously. And that's really important to know, especially if you want to be a music soup. It's having those relationships. It's being able to pull stuff out of your tush and just, you know, really find something that will work. You may have a song that you think is perfect and it gets killed, and then your budget drops in half. But you should already be prepared as a music soup to have that solution already taken care of, the problem solving.
Chorus is rather long and complicated. You want to get to the hook quickly, and you want the hook to be well defined and relatively brief.
The universality of the lyrics are great.
I would check a little bit, and I don't know if it's the speakers. I would brighten it up just a little bit more, and also turn down the auto-tune just a little bit more on that.
I like the anthemic build. It's a much better movie song than it is a television song, just because, you know, you need that song to evolve, to really you know, embrace all of it, you know. And again, these, you know, television uses are generally a lot shorter, but in a film or a big montage moment, you know, where you have a good, you know, 2.5 minutes to kind of let the song breathe a little bit.
There was protect yourself, be smart, be wise, have wise counsel around you. And one thing I always want to tell people, this is really important. If your cousin manages you, if your uncle, if your mom, if your homeboy from college who you grew with manages you, right? And they're ill-equipped to do the job. Loyalty is not staying in a bad situation. That's ignorance. Loyalty is saying, my man, we want to pull in this big manager. I want to hold you down. I will ask if we would take a smaller percentage, you do my day-to-day, and we bring somebody on to help us do that. Now, if a person really believes in you, and they're your friend, and they really love you and care about your career, they're gonna say, listen, man, let's do it. You know, I'll take 10% as opposed to 20. I'll take 5 as opposed to 15. I'll do what I gotta do just to be a part of it, because what'll happen is now this young manager who came up with you, your cousin, your uncle, your best friend, is able to learn from the big manager, and as you grow, you guys will be growing together. He'll be growing as a manager, you'll be growing as an artist, writer, producer, whatever you do. And then it's better if you sit in a dentist and you're hearing something. What is that? Get it, buy it. Get on your iPhone, buy it. Set up a budget for yourself. People spend money on the most random things. Why don't you just sacrifice certain things so that you can buy music? That's very important. Having an extensive catalog of music is very important. Listen to all things. Understand why you love it. Understand what's great about it. Country music is some of the best lyrically ever, right?
What I liked about it was I knew what it was. It sort of established a mood. I could count on it. It wasn't a lot of songs that I hear are too many ideas shoved into one, or too many blurred genre things. So in media placements, you need kind of a purity, you need a clarity of what genre it is, so because it's only one fraction of the rest of the sound. There's the dialogue, there's the sound effects, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Sometimes there's a little bit of over-singing, and I feel that it's something to keep in mind. It might conflict with dialogue for placement.
A lot of times our task is, you gotta replace Rihanna track, and it's produced by Kanye West, and they're used to those frequencies and that top-end production in there, and you put something else in and they're like, the scene's not as energetic, it's not, you know. So it literally has to compete with some of the best tracks in the world.
I was having a little bit hard time finding a chorus that was a hook to me, and that, you know, I felt like the song was gonna go somewhere. It sort of went, you know, it was sort of just kind of stayed there, and I'm not sure if I could find a placement for it.
I think when a film is finished, it then goes to the composer, and a TV film composer will then score the picture. They are supporting the scenes with their music, where in trailers it's really unusual in that happens.
A lot of times what happens is you'll have a great piece of, you know, production music in your trailer, and then all of a sudden a trailer for another movie comes out and it's got that piece of music in it, and the client's already in love with that piece of music, but then now you're faced with the task of trying to replace it with something that they like better.
I thought that was really, really interesting, and I would have loved to see you develop that a little bit more, and like take, you know, again, put it in the formula of like the 3 acts and build it a lot more, because I really, really, really like the tone of that.
It's really cool, and like, I mean, it feels to me like it could be a part of the Cloud Atlas.
So that sound is kind of perfect, and you started to achieve it. I felt like the rhythm of it was a little bit too sporadic, like it wasn't, you know, because I couldn't tell when the next one was coming.